Hey guys, Tim and Adam here, and we want to welcome you back to Flipperflix. You guys know how much Tim loves his foods, and he got to try a new one recently called 3 Wishes.
Yup. Breakfast being my favorite meal, I was excited to try this new cereal out. It's high in protein, low in sugar, and grain-free.
I thought I saw that 3 Wishes is free from wheat, dairy, soy, oats, corn, rice, and peanuts.
That's right. It's plant-based and gluten-free certified, made with modern-day clean ingredients like chickpeas, pea protein, and tapioca.
Well, that sounds like a feat of food science.
One that took 2 years to develop.
Incredible! So what flavor of these 3 Wishes did you devour, Tim? I saw they had cocoa, cinnamon, honey, and unsweetened.
I went with cocoa, and it was delicious.
With 70% less sugar and as much as 8 times the protein of their decadent counterparts, there can't be anything like this on the shelf right now.
And there isn't. 3 Wishes is now offering our listeners 10% off with the code PODCAST10.
So head to their website at www.3wishescereal.com to learn more.
We hope you enjoy this episode. Thank you, Jim Cunningham. I am now confident to podcast for Flipperflix. And that's all I got. Welcome to
You've
Flipperflix.
overcome your fear.
I've overcome my fear to intro for Flipperflix.
Of public speaking.
Speaking publicly to a recording device, so I don't have to speak directly to people.
In
Yeah, it's
your
way
room.
easier to
By
talk.
I'm in
yourself.
my room, secluded. Turn off the lights. Yeah, we're Flipperflix. Yep. I'm Tim.
Yes.
If we haven't
Yeah, I was
figured it
gonna
out
say,
at
what's
this
your
point,
name?
yeah, I don't know. I said it at one point, I think. I'm not sure.
You
I don't
did say
know.
Jim, which does
Jim?
rhyme with
That's
Tim.
true. Well, is it a rhyme really, or is it kind of like a? Yeah, I guess it's a rhyme.
What else would
What
it
else
be?
would it be?
Well, you know, kind of like those words that are pretty much the same, but not. You know,
Like a rhyme?
like lead and lead.
Oh, like
But that's not the same thing, you know. It's
no.
Or what's a spoonerism? Spoonerism. Oh no, that's not the same thing. Spoonerism's like if you say, knucking futs. That's a spoonerism.
Yes.
Oh. Today you learned on Flipperflix what a spoonerism and a
And
rhyme
rhyme.
is, just in case you forgot.
Well, I forgot what a rhyme was. So somebody take the torch. I'm done.
Sam.
So, besides grammar lessons, we review movies.
Yes. Most of
We're,
the time.
I would say we're probably a lot better at reviewing movies than grammar, but that's debatable, I think.
Both of them were not professionals for.
That's true. Very true.
So write that down.
Jot that down.
You
Every
continue.
time.
Continue, Sam.
We also have some social media. We are on Instagram and Twitter at Flipperflix. We also have a website where you can recommend movies for us to review, or you can tell us your Grammarly insights if you really wanted to, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll try to sort those out. And the website is, let's see if I can get this right, I haven't had to say it in a while, www.flipperflix.wixsite.com/home.
Boom.
Nailed
She
it.
did it.
Roasted.
Thank you, Jim Cunningham, for
Yes.
helping Sam
Jim
overcome
Cunningham.
her fear of being able to say our website name.
Yes.
I don't
true.
word no good.
We release episodes every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern on all the major platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, Castbox, Google Podcasts, you know, just all around the web. If you're not sure, just Google Flipperflix. I'm sure something will come up. Who
Yeah,
knows what.
even our IMDb page.
Woo!
Yeah, I haven't updated that in a while. I'll get to it. On to Adam. What movie did we watch and what category was it?
Well, my name is Adam. Thank you.
I said that.
I just want everybody to I wanted to reiterate.
Did you say
it.
Tatum?
Yeah.
No, that's a
Or
rhyme.
Madam? Is Madam a
Madam?
spoonerism?
No.
No.
Spoonerism.
Mada.
Well, it's
It takes 2 words to spoon.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
you
okay,
need
okay.
because you take the
So-
first letter of each word and switch them basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're not even a palindrome because you
No.
need another M.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what that is.
R.I.P.
A palindrome?
Yeah,
It's,
I know what
it's
that
like-
is, yeah.
You do know or you do not?
Why don't you tell the audience what that is?
Okay. It's like the name Hannah. Hannah backwards is Hannah.
Oh
Only
yeah,
if
race
it's two
car.
H's.
Race car backwards is race car.
Yes, it is.
Oh, really? I learned a new one.
Yeah. I love like phobias with words and stuff, or like the phobia usually includes whatever the word or phobia actually is, or it's just weird. Like the one for the phobia for long words is a super long fucking word.
Oh, it is. I know what
Or,
you're
like,
talking about now.
There's
Yeah,
one
I,
for
you had it,
palindromes that's
I
a
was lost there
palindrome.
for a while.
Yeah, a lot of the phobias. I gotta look that up. That's a pretty fun one actually.
All I'll say is one character uses a palindrome we'll talk about later in the episode. I don't want to spoil it yet.
Okay.
But the movie we watched was Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, I guess I could have said that.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
We
No.
watched.
Yeah,
Well, that's a spoonerism, Donnie Darko.
It can be. I guess.
Technically speaking.
Can it though if it makes the same words?
I don't know. Again, not a grammar expert.
Hit us up on Instagram or Twitter.
Let us know.
But
All you English teachers.
we got the category of Before Their Time, which is just really cult classics. And I was like, you know what? Before this movie, I really liked it. I did not realize is not the right word. I did not remember that this movie took place around Halloween. And we were not watching it for a Halloween episode.
Yeah. Wait, so
Well,
who all
it's
has seen
belated
it?
Halloween.
I've seen it, you've seen it, Sam has not.
Oh, okay. I had that backwards then. Okay.
Yeah. But the synopsis of the film is, after narrowly escaping a bizarre accident, a troubled teenager is plagued by visions of a man in a large rabbit suit who manipulates him into committing a series of crimes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. That's
And
cut.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
And thank you, Jim Cunningham, for helping me get through
This great
that
Flipper Flakes
synopsis.
episode.
But Sam, we're going to start with expectations with you today because you've not seen it.
True. But I did try to see it once at some point.
Yeah, about 9 years ago at school, you fell asleep.
Yeah.
I stayed awake.
Yeah. I like how this was my expectations and Adam's telling us the story.
That is how our relationship works.
I'm just kidding. I was just needling you because I wanted to. Because I couldn't really remember my expectations, except that I've seen it once before, fell asleep because I thought it was boring.
How dare.
And so this time I was like, all right, like I'm always game to retry movies. I think that's why I kind of like, what's that one category? Back at it again. Because I'm like, like depending on my mood or whatever. And obviously Tim and I talked about this, but we fall asleep a lot. So like,
Yeah.
just because I fall asleep doesn't mean it's a bad movie, but it could
It's
also
just
mean
a
it's
common
bad movie.
theme.
Just
you know.
depends.
They just really like sleep.
Sleep
Yeah,
is
so-
nice. Yeah.
So if it's because I fell asleep, most of the time I'm very much regamed to watch it because that doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, I mean, I was excited to try it out again. Why the heck not?
Yeah.
Adam?
I was excited to rewatch it because I remember it being like a what the fuck did I just watch
Yeah.
moment when I like ended it because you were asleep
Yeah, I remember that.
and I was like, because I was still younger. It was in my younger, more vulnerable ages.
Mhm.
And I was just like, oh my God, what?
Well, yeah, it's kind of a mind bender, and I do remember that part because you were like, woke me up and you're like, that movie was crazy. You're gonna have to rewatch it. And then 10 years later, I'm coming back to it.
So I was expecting to try and like piece it all together, but it's been 9 years and I've not watched it since. I'm gonna just say that.
But we do own the DVD, so
we
you
do
must
own
have liked it.
Yeah,
Kelly.
so we watched this movie on our DVD
Yeah.
that we borrowed indefinitely from Sam's father.
Now, kids, a DVD is a cylindrical, not even a cylinder, a flat circular disc with a hole in the center. It looks like a donut, but you stick it in. Now, don't stick donuts into anything electronic, but you stick this into there, and it plays movies and other
Now,
stuff.
Tim, while I got you here, can you give me the definition of what a DVD is? Like, what do those three letters stand for?
I don't fully remember, and I'm definitely not
You're
Googling
Googling
it right now.
You're typing gave you
Digital
away.
versatile disc is what I believe it's called.
Or I believe it might be
Or
also called a digital video disc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's really interesting.
It's got two different, meanings, like you're saying. What
I
pick
think you
one
said,
is what I'm saying. Yeah.
And you said that you can get a player to just plug into your television?
Yeah, there's a device that sucks it in.
Ooh.
It's kind of cool because you can get your finger caught. So it's
Don't
also
do that
a game.
at home, kids.
It's also a game, a harmless game, but don't stick things in there. And move your finger when you're putting the DVD in.
I think we might have killed Sam.
We're dumb. We crack ourselves up. That's all that matters.
But you can also catch it on the Tubi or Amazon Prime for free.
Oh yeah,
with commercials.
Go,
Yeah.
Now we're speaking to the youths.
Yeah. If you're using the technology, stream it because it's a
Ouch. Ouch. I think Tim just told us we weren't technological relevant. So
Tim, what are your
expectations?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie. I was ready to watch it again. I'll watch this so many times.
Oh, have you really?
No, not really. But like I've seen it enough to where I can say I've seen it more than other movies. But I will be honest, there were parts I did not remember. It's been a long time since I've seen it. And like obviously there's a song in it that is very, I don't want to say classic, but like
Sam's most hated song in the world.
What? We're gonna have words.
Yeah, let's just hop to the very end.
You need to talk to Jim Cunningham.
I know.
Dude,
I'm clearly
can we talk about
so
the
much
fear?
Fear going on.
There's a vector of fear to love. Now fear, you don't want fear. You want love in your heart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't want no fear.
Yeah, so since I don't like this very popular song, I have
you got a lot of fear.
Okay.
Now, Sam, if you find a wallet, and if you take the money out of the wallet...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and spoiler alert.
But
if you take that wallet, you take that money, put it in your pocket, and you return that wallet to said person, is that fear or love?
Oh, gosh.
That's a gray area because
are we just playing out the scene at this point? Oh shoot!
No, I can't remember all of his arguments for why it was a gray area.
Well, he was saying it's not a two-way road. There's way more emotions.
There's a lot of more
just
variables
one.
In it.
It's not binary. It's not 0 or 1. It's not a Boolean.
Yeah.
Boolean.
That's a fantastic word.
Mm-hmm.
Boolean.
Yeah. Well.
So let's get started, fuck asses.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of hit off that. We'll start with the beginning scene and the ending scene real quick, but we won't. Let's just talk about the theme and the music for both.
Okay, so the
real
theme.
Quick. So we won't talk about.
The theme is death.
Well, maybe, kind of, a little bit, but no. Yes,
yes,
possibly.
But no.
So I'm just curious about Sam now because she said she doesn't like that song. So for me, the opening scene for A, you can tell it's aged, but B.
Yes.
It was made in the 2000s, set in the 80s.
Yeah. So the maybe not the opening scene, but the scene where they're showing all the characters for the first time that are kind of connected. They have like that music sort of thing, and I like how they shot it. I thought it was really cool, and this is part of what I like about this movie is just how it's like filmed and stuff, which I guess most of it's pretty basic, but like a lot of the scenes are drawn out. There's a lot more, I don't know, depth to each scene, it seems like. But anyway, this one has like the song showing all the characters without fully introducing them, when I really liked it. And then connecting at the end, it shows them again. And I was just curious about Sam's kind of thoughts on it, because the first one I thought was like, the song was okay. But the last one, the ending one, I think
Mad
the
World?
song, Mad World,
so good.
takes it off to the that's where the movie is just like, it climaxes. Like, I don't know. It's just so good.
It was Tim's climax. He climaxed.
Yeah. So I was just curious, Sam, how she felt since you don't like that song. Did you get kind of like the, oh, yes, or was it just kind of like, all right.
Oh, I know her feelings.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that I rolled into the next room during the song, and then I rolled into the next room while you were describing why you liked it. Not that I don't value your opinion, because obviously to each their own. But I was just like, I don't know. I think since I've never liked the song, because the thing is, like, I heard the song before I saw the movie, so perhaps because it was super popular.
See, I don't
and
think
like I didn't like it when I heard it, and then I didn't like it in the movie.
She just hates pianos.
That is not true. I love pianos. I
think the
know.
song fits this movie very well.
It does.
That's where I like it from.
That.
Now, I like it from the Gears of War trailer back in 2005.
Yes, and that's what I was going to get to next as well. It was really good in that.
Yeah,
but honestly, I'm not like
I wanted
music
that game
buff.
because of that movie.
Right.
Music.
And I'm not a music buff and stuff, so usually when I hear something, if I hear it before the rest of the world, I'm stoked. Like I'm like, woo!
Okay,
I found something. You're not allowed to have it. It's mine. Ha 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 ha. But usually I'm behind, and like this is how behind I am. Usually.
He just found the Beatles.
Kind of. Usually, like what's that song that just came out? Lil Nas X or whatever, the horse one.
Dude, you lost me. Is it on the radio? Because I don't listen to the radio.
It was. Not when I started listening to it. Basically, I catch on to songs after everybody's already tired of them and sick of hearing them. That's usually when I hear a song.
You know what? He probably would have liked Ride by 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
I probably have heard
He
it.
probably.
Yeah, he's probably heard it.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying he
this
probably
point.
got hooked at the tail end of it coming on the radio.
Oh, could be. Well, yeah, because I kind of feel like you were hooked on Swing from a Fire Escape towards the end, Tim.
You know what? People still don't know that song.
I think I actually did hear that song like before it was popular.
Oh,
Look at
that's
you,
why
brush
you
that
have so much
shoulder
love
off.
for it.
That is just a catchy song.
It is fun.
Flee from the fire escape. Oh god, it's so good.
Anyways.
And I also used to yell it at people at work. That was the whole thing.
So that
And at
helps.
Disney.
We yeah, you're my number one. Yeah, and they were like, that's not a song. I'm like, listen to the song. It's part of the song. I promise it's part of the
It's
song.
definitely a song.
Yeah.
So with Mad World, you were like, I'm ahead of the curve.
No, I don't think so because I hadn't heard it
Oh.
before the movie.
No.
That's what I was getting at. It's like I love this song and like the Gears of War trailer and everything, and I was like, oh, I love this song. That's probably why. Yeah, because I'm a pleb when it comes to music.
I was gonna say, I think that if I would have heard it the first time in the movie, or like you guys obviously both like video games, so like that's a nice soft spot. Like if I would have heard it a different way, and probably not so many times before the movie, like the sheer iteration, because I would say that like sometimes we can be late to these classics.
Yeah.
So I think like having like knowing the song before going into the movie, I think it kind of hurt me, but I'm sure like plenty of people can respond to us on Instagram and Twitter and let us know like, did you hear the song first? Did you still like it? Because I know
Right.
a lot of people like this movie. I think I'm probably the unpopular opinion that does not like this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, so I'll just see myself out now.
Bye.
No,
Yep.
but I do think the song fits the movie. It's depressing. and-
Yeah, I mean that's what I was getting
the
at.
shtick.
You know, I went a
I
roundabout
agree.
way of 10-minute spiel and losing my own mind to get to the point of yeah.
That's
How
cool, though.
old do you think the song is? Just give me a year.
When was the movie?
2001.
Shit, I don't know.
90s.
1982 by British band Tears for
Ew.
Fears.
Oh, it's Tears for Fears. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but this is redone by Gary Jules and Michael Andrews.
I don't know.
That's the
any
version
of-
everybody else. That's the version I bought on iTunes after I saw the Gears of War commercial. But carrying on with this film.
Yeah, I like Tears for Fears. But
Good
that's
for
not the
you.
version
I've
that
never
people
heard of
know.
them.
Yes, you know.
Anyways, we're not a music. We're movie. Music.
Well,
movie.
you know, back and forth.
Yeah.
back and forth.
No, I'm just kidding. I just really want to discuss how at the dinner table they just talk about the word fuck ass.
Yes.
Now, Tim, do you know the definition of what a fuck ass is?
Do I know the definition?
The Urban Dictionary definition. I can
Fuck
give it to
ass?
you real quick.
No, I don't think I did.
It's an annoying, dickish, and idiotic
I
person.
knew that.
Someone who embodies the qualities of a fuck ass is a fuck ass. And I'm like, I really love it when the definition is the word is in the definition.
Yes, that's great. That really just
Yeah,
tells
it really
you,
just
like,
helps me, man.
how
Like,
much.
Urban Dictionary can help you.
Yeah, I don't know where. I started that sentence and didn't know where it was going.
You just-
Michael's got it out.
Yeah, I just start sentences and who knows where I'm going to be at the end of it.
Yeah, well, you know, you just keep going and you trail off, and that's what I do all the time with my thoughts.
It's just better that way sometimes.
It works that way, and then people are just, you know, confused.
Yeah,
But I'm going to keep us going on the movie.
go for it.
Well, go for it, yeah.
Yeah. I felt that they actually seemed like a family during the dinner scene.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, you see a lot of movies where, like, the discussions of the family are just, they're clearly scripted, but I think that, having brother and sister actually play brother and sister
Right.
Yeah, that
can
helps.
help with that.
Yeah, I agree.
But then it was ruined when the airplane blew up the kid's, Donnie's room, and they're like, oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Like, they just are like, oh, man, we were worried. Not really. What?
Well, and when he came back the first time,
Yeah,
they were kind of worried too, more so, I think. Am I getting that right? Or were they just irate? They were, I don't know. I didn't like I don't know how long he's been sleepwalking. I guess maybe they'd get used to it, but I also kind of think, like, they were very chillax about the fact that he's, like...
He just waltz back in, and the door says, where's Donnie?
Yeah, like, no big deal.
Yeah, they just are like,
Yeah, that was interesting.
Chill, bro. Chill, bro.
But I think part of maybe why they weren't so worried about it is because he's an angsty AF teenager.
He really is, yeah.
Is there any other type of teenager? Because all movies seem to think is just angst for days.
Yeah.
Like, you can feel the angst coming out of his
Hormones!
screen. Yeah.
Like,
They basically are just yelling that at us.
yeah.
Like, hey, they're going through some stuff. We all did it. I don't think I was bad.
I just think they make them over the top sometimes. Like, when he calls his mom a bitch, like, for seemingly no reason. Like...
Right.
Yeah.
And then he yells at her when she's in his room, and I'm like, first off, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but their room is like their sanctuary in the house.
Yeah, that
Because
is
teens
true.
always storm upstairs and slam the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But anywho, yeah, so maybe that's why they're not concerned. They're like, fuck him. He'll
Right.
come back if he feels like it.
Yeah.
What a
This is
fuck
true.
ass.
He knows where he lives.
That's true.
He'll get back eventually.
So, I want to go back to the dinner table real quick. I love that
Yeah.
the dad laughs at everything constantly throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But there's when what is it? They're sitting at the table talking about pregnancy or whatever, and she's like, "When can I have a baby?" Or what? And he says, "Not till the 8th grade."
Yeah.
I actually
Did the
thought
dad
that
laugh
was
at that?
great. I thought it was really
funny.
funny. Like, I don't know, it just felt natural, and then the dad like chuckles and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's
He chuckles
what
and
an
he
angsty
catches
teenager
himself.
would probably say something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great. I don't know. There's a couple of them in there that are like that, and I thought that's pretty spot on. Yeah.
I also thought that when they were at the bus stop, and the guy's like, hey, Donnie, you want to smoke a cigarette?
Mm.
Oh, man, this shit is so fucking good. It's a fucking cigarette. And that's what he said, and I was like, thank you. It's a cigarette. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're acting like it's like a heavy drug. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
goddamn teenagers.
Silly
Yeah, these-
teenagers.
These
And then it
dudes.
transitions to kids snorting coke in the hallway.
I
Right.
was so confused by that. I was like, I mean, all right. I went to a private school, and even they didn't do their coke in the hallway. Like, come on now.
You do
That's
that in the bathroom.
ridiculous. Yeah.
A little wild.
Not in the hallway.
Not in the hallway. Don't do it in the public.
Also, I think one of the teachers walked down the hallway and, like, looked in the direction of the guy doing coke.
I think it was the principal.
Oh,
yeah,
he just
and, like,
didn't
kept
care. Yeah.
moving. Yeah.
Didn't give
Like,
two
that was
shits.
so silly. Didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
A lot of the school scenes to me didn't make any sense. Like, I'm not sure I quite understood, like, I think they were just trying to, like, announce the characters, right? Because, like, when Drew Barrymore first rolls up, we, like, watch her come in all epically, and it's
Oh,
like...
during Tim's song.
Yeah.
That
the
song,
first song.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't know.
Oh, I threw you off there.
Yeah, because now I feel bad. But I was like, I don't know if I buy into this. But I think it probably would have been better if we didn't watch somebody do coke in the hallway. There were just parts of it that felt off. Or like what were their names? Sparkle Motion was like practicing
Fucking sparkle motion.
in like the garden area
yeah.
or something. Like that was weird to me too. But theoretically, I mean, all these things could be happening, right? Except minus the coke, hopefully.
Yeah, let's just hope that stuff isn't
Yeah.
going around.
Who knows?
It
though?
was the 80s, though.
That's true. We don't know.
You know what? We just need to call Jim Cunningham up here.
Thank you, Jim Cunningham.
Yeah, and speaking of school, so like when they first watched the Jim Cunningham video, like I was so confused. Like, she's the gym teacher, isn't she?
Yeah.
So why are they watching that? Like, that seems like a health class thing.
I felt like it was like
almost.
a gym/health teacher.
Maybe?
But she was only ever listed as the gym teacher.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the what's her face, the weird lady?
Mrs. Farmer.
Yeah,
Farmer.
the weird lady.
Yeah, the one that freaks out. No, she's brainwashed.
Well,
Well, yeah, she's
but
part of
So
the
she's
cult.
trying to spread the word. She's in the cult.
well, yeah, I definitely thought it was like a cult thing, but I was like, how do you get away with showing this in school? Like, is it for a health class?
It's got to be for a
Is
health
it
class.
for like study hall?
Well, he might. Yeah, they had to have some sort of deal going on because even Donnie was like, "How much you getting paid for this?"
Yeah.
Right,
I thought
yeah.
that was great.
But during the video, apparently, I didn't catch this. I just want it to be known. I read this online. But he goes and smacks a kid in the
Yeah, I was
kid in
gonna
the
say.
butt.
I knew exactly what you were gonna say. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he does.
The kid he smacks is the kid that goes up there and is like, "I want to learn how to fight."
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I missed all of that.
Man, he's just taking himself down, Jim Cunningham. Get it together.
He's gonna get beat up by a little kid eventually.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For
Dude,
sure.
Jim Cunningham wore his own personal clothing.
Patrick Swayze wore his own clothing.
Yeah, from the 80s.
That's
He
funny.
still had his clothing from the 80s.
That's
When they
pretty
did this-
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
In-
dope.
But in the 2000s, and like it took them 28 days to do this movie,
Oh,
which is really cool because
yeah.
the world's gonna end in 28 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an
So-
extra little nugget.
Yeah, like I don't think that was planned. It just was like a happy coincidence.
No,
I like that.
that's planned. That's for sure planned.
But
Or
yeah,
not. I don't know.
who knows?
Well,
But
it's
Tim,
for
just
sure,
sit next
though.
to the cutest boy in class.
That was the most awkward and weird thing
I would
that would
hate
never
that.
ever happen in a school. Maybe in
Right?
the 80s, but like
Maybe.
no way a teacher is going to say that in a class
loud.
that I went to. Like
Right?
no way. That just seems so far-fetched, but you know, it's whatever.
Right? And, well, I've heard like people jokingly say online, they're like, "Oh, I play so and so together because I think that they like one of them likes each other." Like when they do partner stuff, but they don't outright say, "Find the cutest boy in class."
Yeah, and then make the person move. Like,
Hey, Joni, move your fucking ass.
verbatim what she said.
Bitch.
So yeah, we have the whole setup, the characters that are connected. We get to the school where it's really awkward a lot of the times.
Yes.
And then Joanna's
what's-
there.
Yeah, Joanna's there.
Who's Joanna?
Gretchen.
Oh, yes, Gretchen. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Who's Joanna? Is there
Yeah, I
character
was
in that?
just gonna keep rolling with it.
Go for it.
Who is Joanna? Gretchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, from Hungry Games.
Yeah, she's from
That
Hunger Games.
okay. That's funny because when you said Joanna, that's who I pictured because I literally just watched that today,
Well, look at that.
Look at you.
and I was like, oh, that's her. Anyway, so yeah, she moves in, and then what happens next? We have any of the funky stuff happening next? I don't even remember.
Well, we missed the first Frank appearance, which is
It's
that
very
mask-
brief though, because
Yeah.
it's just when he's like, "Here, leave," and it crashes on the house.
yeah.
He basically tells him about the clock, though, right? Because he writes it on his arm and all that.
Yep, the
That's
28
first
days, 42
encounter.
minutes, 42 hour, whatever.
So we know we have a countdown going on at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Mrs. Death.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's creepy.
Sparrow lady. What was her first name?
Robin?
Robin Sparrow.
Robbins.
Nuh-uh. Really?
I don't remember.
I didn't even get that if it is Robin Sparrow.
Yeah, it's something like that.
It sounds right.
No,
Yeah.
that's very close to what it is if it's not correct.
Yeah, she just gets stuck. She's stuck in a time loop of going back and forth
To
on
her
her.
mailbox?
Yeah, I'm curious what her little gobbly gloop coming out of her belly looks like.
What?
The clear flubber monster that comes
Oh.
out. That's a little bit dated. in my
Yeah.
He
opinion.
created that from watching football. He saw like John Madden, like drawing arrows on people.
Oh.
Like this is where they're going. This is the route they're gonna take.
You know, that actually makes a lot of sense.
It actually clears a lot of it up, right?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not sure that I don't know. It was the early 2000s, so I'm always like, they could have done better. But knowing the budget of this film and the fact that wasn't it supposed to be straight to video originally?
Yeah, it didn't go straight to video because Drew Barrymore put $4.5 million into it.
Damn, girl.
And yeah, and it went to cinemas because her one rule was that she had to play the teacher.
Oh.
Really?
Miss Pomfrey, yeah.
Interesting.
So,
You could tell
yeah,
she enjoyed the role for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very Drew Barrymore-esque role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I just thought that the gloop monsters,
Gloop.
like, they didn't look quite so great. Like, I didn't mind when he saw Frank and there was, like, kind of like a force field in between them and he was, like, hitting it with his hand. I thought that looked okay. Like, it didn't feel dated.
Yeah, that seemed
I was like,
fine.
oh, okay. Like, that was good. But the shooting out was a little bit much for me.
Yeah.
But then you get used to it because they show it later on in the movie. And you're like, all right, we're flubbering
we're in
again.
it now.
We're good, yeah.
So the next scene that we get with Frank is when he tells Donnie to go back to the school, flood it, and then put a hatchet into the dog's head and they made me do it.
Yeah, the mascot.
Yeah, that was creepy. I just think Frank is creepy, man.
He's supposed to be, but he's also cool.
Is it because of his car?
This and that.
Yes.
Little
Yes,
column
it is.
A, little column B.
But yeah, like I remember seeing his mask and being like, damn, this fucker's creepy.
Yeah, he's pretty creepy.
And you know what, 9 years later, I'm like, he's still weird. Like, no, he's still creepy.
I was just gonna say, I think when I first saw the movie when I was a lot younger, I definitely thought he was creepy. But I like his costume, and I think it'd be cool to do one like that as Halloween at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
You may or may not scare some people, but it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
That's the
Just
point of
you
Halloween.
just gotta go like stand in corners and not move.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was like, I
pretty
think
much.
part of why he's creepy is like they give him that crazy voiceover, right? Like he's not really necessarily a normal person till like pretty far down the line. So like the way that they shoot him with like his creepy voiceover, and he'll just be like standing there, like moving his head slightly, like that's very creepy. It gave me some good. And then like Donnie's creepy too. Like he always like looks like Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
He has that moment where he like zones out, and that's when he gets like that weird look in his eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they played it up. But go ahead.
Our best friend Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
He worked so hard on not blinking. He's like, this is gonna help make it. He's like, I think it'll make it way creepier if I don't blink.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And apparently, yeah, it worked.
Commitment. He was such a youth.
He was.
They all were.
That's true.
We all were.
What? No.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
Mark Wahlberg wanted to be in the movie.
As what?
Mark.
The science teacher?
Yeah.
Obviously.
No, he wanted to be Donnie, but he would only play Donnie if he could give him a lisp.
Oh.
What?
It's like a very like weird. I need this to happen.
Well, Donnie does have kind of a weird voice when he is under hypnosis. Like he turns into more of a child.
Yeah, he's got like
he's like
voice.
Split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like James McAvoy in Split.
Mm-hmm.
You know who are weird?
Who?
Donnie's friends. They're cartoon characters. Like the two bus stop friends that they go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they pretty much are.
They're just like weird, as Tim would say, very charactery.
Yeah.
They just do like weird shit, like ha 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 ha, laugh at their jokes, and then that don't make sense, and then get schooled in Smurf knowledge.
I thought that was a great scene.
Oh, I loved the scene.
It's so good.
So the director is the writer, and he wrote the whole Smurf spiel, but he's like, I don't think it's gonna get okayed, so we're just gonna have him shooting a Smurf stuffed animal.
Oh.
Yeah. So they went to go get it done. Like he submitted it, was like, oh yeah, and this is the facts that we have about it. And the writers of the Smurfs sent back, yeah, everything's canon that Donnie's saying.
So we're good.
So you're good to say it. Like you're not slandering us at all.
Nice. Yeah, if I were the Smurf people, I would rather have you shoot off a bunch of facts about the Smurf than shoot a Smurf. So
yeah,
I can see why they would do that.
It's hilarious though. Like he just like lists off who's the girl Smurf?
Smurfette.
Smurfette. Smurfette was made by Gargamouth, and he just starts listening, and then Papa Smurf is. I'm like, damn, dude.
To me, that's just like I don't even know if it's a teenager thing or more of just like a real life thing. Like a lot of people know random facts about random shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And so, like, you just start talking about spoonerisms, and you just,
And palindromes.
you just keep going.
you got the first palindrome in this movie that I know of is Seth Rogen. He's talking to Gretchen and he's just like, I like your boobs. And I want you to know that this was Seth Rogen's first film, and that was his first line ever in a feature film.
That's amazing.
Good job, Seth Rogen.
So
you
good.
nailed it.
And like, he looked 30. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did.
But it's just so, I'm sure he actually wasn't. Like, if all actors that was like, if you were to tell me like, oh yeah, he always has looked 30. Yeah, that would be probably, I'd accept that answer.
Yeah. And I think his partner in crime was also very character-y. Like,
Yeah.
both of them were like teenage bullies, bad guys, however you want to call the
Right.
teenagers that cause trouble. Like,
I will say he had a great mullet, and I think mullets are
Yeah.
making a comeback.
They are.
they
really
probably
are.
Sam's little sister was telling us that they're all over her school.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. They're like somehow making a comeback. And
Everything
I'm
always
gonna
comes
have to have
back
one.
around.
Oh no.
You'll have to do a video if you end up with one.
Yeah, can you please give us a video of that? Okay, thank you.
Or a
We'll upload it to
picture, I
YouTube.
guess.
Nope,
I
video.
don't think I'm
360
allowed at the
video.
moment, but, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. What happened next? Did they go to the...
Well, hold on. There was something about. Oh yeah, I had a line. Here we go. Let me look it up. I'm just throwing some of these random lines out. Like when the kids are talking at the high school,
Mhm.
they're talking about feces, and she's like, "What are feces?" And she says, "Baby
Oh, they're-
mice."
Yeah, they're baby mice. I had that written down too.
I love that.
And then he's walking with Gretchen, and she's like, my dad or stepdad has emotional problems or something like that. And he says, "Oh, I have those too. What kind does your dad have?"
Oh yeah, I had those too. I'm
Oh,
like,
that was fantastic. It's like, oh boy.
great. This is great. I'm so glad that I chose the crazy kid.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's better than I like your boobs, kid, but who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
If
And
those
then
are your only options.
The other guy was just like, I'm innocent, and pulls a knife on you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's not very innocent like. I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he like has a switchblade at school and then just like corners them in the bathroom with it. Like, sweet.
I do have a line as well that I
Ooh.
can't remember what the context was now.
Okay.
But it was done by Donnie. I'm getting better. I'm learning to write down the name
There
of
you
the
go.
character. How come? Wait, wrong line. What's the point of living if you don't have a dick?
That was talking about the Smurfs.
Oh, it was. Wasn't
There you
it? Yeah, there we
So
go.
we're talking about them. Yeah.
It was not near my Smurf line. So, oh, no, it was. Ha. What a classic line. Sam read something on the internet about that in COVID, but we won't get into
Yeah.
that.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, we got the party next, or
We're not at the party yet. He hasn't even burned down Jim Cunningham's house yet.
Okay, so here we go. Let me lay it down for you. He floods the school, right?
Oh, right. The
Yeah.
flood.
Then
We're doing the
they go
flood, yeah.
through.
We did the flood.
And they test. I know, I'm doing fast forward version. They test a bunch of people's handwriting, and the principal's like, ooh.
Oh, let me put a
That
big
would
ass
not work, but
question
continue.
mark.
Yeah.
Like, first off, why wouldn't like the kids all could see it?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't like if the kid knew he did it? Here, let me just write completely differently.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Donnie kind of storms off. And then what happens after that? Is that the Smurf scene?
That's the Smurf scene, and then we go to where he starts yelling at the gym teacher about the fear spectrum.
Yep.
Ah, yes, which we kind of already went
We already
over.
kind of went over
We
that.
did.
It's a cult. There's a weird video that doesn't make any sense. They have a bunch of options, like exercises, and he loses it.
Which was great.
When does he see the shrink in between all these scenes?
He in and out just
Yeah.
constantly.
She's all over the place.
And then he sticks his hand down his pants.
Mhm.
He gets a little weird, and then she's like,
Yeah, because she hypnotized him.
"Yep."
Mhm.
Yeah.
The parents really hate Mrs. Farmer.
Yeah.
The
Who
dad,
doesn't?
yeah, well, yeah, I fully understand why, but the dad cracking up on about the line, which I know you brought up earlier, Tim. I just love
It's
that
so good.
line. Like, holy shit! Like, he's just dying from laughter,
Yeah.
which I was too at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my.
But then he goes to the science teacher and starts
Yep.
asking about time travel.
Yep.
And then this is equivalent to Tim hating super genius babies, children.
Okay. Yeah.
Why does every single science teacher know about
But
time travel?
Yeah.
Right, they're like apparently dipped their finger in it and tried it themselves kind of situation, you know? They're all
Every
kind of
single
obsessed
time.
with it. It's like, come on.
Even the geology professors have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't
Like,
get
really?
it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it either. But it's cool because it kind of lets you in. Like, it literally is always just to let the audience in on what's going on and they're like, their universe of time travel and stuff like that and how it affects everything.
It's a plot device.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because I liked how he got the book that was Sparrow.
Roberta
Old Ladies.
Sparrow.
Roberta's-
Grandma Death.
Grandma Death's book, and like you see, I believe you see the goo clear lines, and then he like looks it up in the book, and he's explaining it, being like, "Oh yeah, like it's exactly like she described it." So like, even though it's a plot device, I kind of liked that. I don't know.
I know.
It
was
matches
saying.
perfectly.
It's just
It
funny
does.
to me that like
They spell it out for you.
yeah, so
Yeah.
they gotta just yell at you because this movie. That's probably the only thing they're like, here, let me just set this out on a table so you can
need
understand
that. You
it.
need that guiding line for this movie.
Yeah.
You need the little globbity gloop coming out of your belly to walk
Yeah.
you through it because like when like Tim was saying like, oh, I have problems too.
Yeah.
He's like, I burnt somebody's house down. It was abandoned. That is actually him talking about he hadn't burnt anybody's house down at that point.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's talking about Jim
In the
Cunningham's
future.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's really weird. He doesn't know his memory of his time is all fucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
It's all
Yeah.
over the place.
I didn't catch that the first time.
Yeah. I do like that later on he's like, I can't continue this conversation anymore, I'll lose my job, because it like started involving a little bit of religion and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a big person of science over religion, but we won't go there. I just thought it was really cool how like, I don't know, for some reason I liked it.
Did you ask me about that part, Sam? Like, why can't he keep talking about it?
Yeah, because I didn't realize they were at a private school because it was called like Middlesex High School, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is that
It was
like what? Like I don't know. I'm not saying that private schools can't be named that. I'm just saying that wasn't immediately apparent. Although I was
Right.
like, after I was like, are they at a private school? I was like, duh, they're wearing uniforms. Like I don't really know public schools that have uniforms. Again, not saying that's not possible. It's just not usually.
Did your private schools have a bus though?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there are bus systems for private schools.
I don't know. I went to
I
public.
don't know how there couldn't be, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just hop on the bus with the peasants.
yeah.
But anywho, usually when there's private schools, they have like some sort of mass or
Okay.
something, right? But like, or you know, like in movies, like I don't know, they kind of make it a little bit more clear. But yeah, I liked that as well because I think that at the more open-minded private schools, there are definitely teachers that like you know
push that.
not push it, but have more thoughts around just the norm. And so like at my high school, for instance, it was a private school, and like every month we had a different religion have their mass instead of just having one religious mass.
Which
So,
is
like,
cool.
Yeah, it was very like inclusive and stuff like that. So like at my high school, I could see a science teacher saying something like that. Was all I was getting to long-windedly.
But it also reiterates the fact that why Grandma Death left being a teacher there. She was a nun, and she's basically counteracting like science and religion with like all this stuff because I'm sure she's going down the same route
Exactly.
as Donnie.
Yeah.
So the professor's like, I like my job, but my girlfriend's about to lose her job.
Yeah. Let me get some job security for the both of us.
Yeah, which I didn't realize they were the thing. I thought they were, but I didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think
They're just
it's
dating.
lightly there. Yeah. It's nothing super serial, you know.
But I do want to bring up cellar door.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is supposed to be the most beautiful combination of words possible.
Yeah, I've actually heard that before.
Really? Was it from Tolkien? Because it's
Maybe.
from Tolkien.
There you go.
I've
That
never
sounds
heard
right.
it before, but I do remember it every time when I'm like watching this movie, and I always do it like play it over in my head, and I try to make it sound like, you know, whatever, and I'm like, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Let's
I
just,
want
like,
to, but I don't.
Let's pull out some Tolkien names. Aceliador.
Yeah.
Cellar door. Aceliador.
Mm-hmm.
He has a
True.
few of them that are very cellar door-esque.
Yeah. Well, and he was very much into linguistics.
Yeah, he was
so.
he wrote entire fantasy novels because he wanted to use his languages he made up.
Mhm.
What a badass.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Who doesn't do that?
Right?
What? You
What?
don't, Sam?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I was just saying, who doesn't write their own language and then
Yeah.
be like, you know what? I want to use it, so I'm going to put it in a book.
A long ass book.
Three long ass books.
Okay,
4.
let's get off the Tolkien
5.
train.
Yeah,
We're always on the Tolkien train. Continue.
Well, she gets fired.
Yes.
In
For
October.
teaching. Well, yeah, she gets fired because Mrs. Farmer's got her panties in a bunch over, whatever she was teaching.
Graham Cook or something.
Yeah,
Wait,
whatever
not
that
Graham
book
Cook.
was that told people to destroy things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, showing that Mrs. Farmer's the worst.
She really is. And then, I don't know.
I think we need to dig deeper into just the whole time travel and
Okay.
shit about this movie because we got our annoying characters and whatnot. But
This is fun.
I'm really just eager to hear I guess because this is Sam's first time how lost she was in the whole movie or what was going on, what she expected. Were you guessing a lot what was gonna happen next? So about at this point in the film about the worm things coming out of the chest, right? The workers or whatever the fuck they are. I don't even know. I've looked up a lot of stuff and I always go down a rabbit hole. So.
Rabbit hole.
Nice.
I don't get it.
Frank's a rabbit.
Oh shit. Yep.
Yeah. I don't get it.
So I'm just curious, were you trying to predict anything, or were you just kind of along for the ride, Sam?
I feel like I was along for the ride because a lot of it, I don't think it was overtly a time travel movie.
Right.
But it is, you know what I mean? I think
it doesn't. Go
ahead.
Jinx.
I was just gonna say it doesn't feel like it in the moment.
Right. That's
Yeah.
They do a good mix of high school drama, romance.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what is he not an angsty teen, a rebellious teen.
Yeah.
They do a lot of the typical storyline stuff to kind of break up the time travel, which I think is kind of nice because it kind of prolongs the mystery a little bit, right? For your first watch as well, which I will give it props for that because it's just, and I think a lot of the time travel is just straight up odd. The wormy worker things, yeah. Which I like that versus being we're gonna hop in a time machine, even though I love Bill and Ted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
It's not in your face as much.
If you think about what he was saying was in God's channel or whatever, you can travel through time and space in God's channel. I think that's supposed to represent what he thought as the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can see that, you can change that path.
Yeah.
Or you could use that path, but only that path to change something. You can't affect other things unless you use your own path or whatever,
Right. You have your set path, but if you can get on God's channel's path, you can actually alter stuff, which is what happened with the plane. Regardless, no matter what, that plane is going to hit the path.
Right.
That is predestined.
Yep.
Because it doesn't know about God's channel. And what happens is the turbine falls off and crashes and kills Donnie's room.
Yep.
Yeah. That's all I got. And then Donnie goes into God's channel just to fix it all.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I was going to say, I think he said this, and I also like this part where he was saying, I wonder how many other people, know about this. Was this when he was figuring out that Barrow Death old lady knew about it?
She described all the stuff that he was seeing and doing in her book, yeah.
Yeah, and so he's like, ooh, I wonder how many other people know about that. And I think, that's kind of cool to think about, too. If you were to, witness something like this and realize, old lady Death went through it, too. Just thinking about, how many people know it and might not even realize it, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though the wormy thing's pretty noticeable. But the rest of it, before that, I think also what's kind of odd, I guess, about the time travel and keeps it unpredictable is the whole Frank bit, right?
Yeah.
I think he kind of keeps you on your toes more because, he's just, kind of a creepy bunny, telling you the world's gonna end, and then all of a sudden he's, a regular dude at the movie theater, right? With, his eye gouged out.
Yeah, I thought that... I forgot that he got shot.
Yeah, so I thought, his eye was gouged out.
Because he gouged it with a
gouged
knife.
his eye out with the knife
he's
earlier.
poking the mirror with the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I, that was very unpredictable that he got shot to me because I was although, once, I don't know, they look completely different, but We had just seen him gouge out his eye, so I'm like, well,
right,
that
yeah.
makes sense.
So naturally, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I will also say that, Sim, you aren't as bad as me and Tim about this. You don't try and guess the next thing that's going to happen constantly.
Yeah, I will say that. Like,
You're more relaxed.
I like to be in a movie, unless it's like uber predictable, which this one I don't think was at all. Then I don't try to predict it. I just kind of like.
The only time you do is maybe rom-coms.
Yeah, when they're uber predictable.
Where they follow the same path, yeah.
God's channel.
God's channel, yeah.
I was gonna say, what? We're at the party, or
We met at a party.
The only other thing I was gonna say before the party was that, like, so for their first date, Gretchen and Donnie, and that's when Frank shows up and like he goes and burns the house down.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a double feature, but like, first off, the theater is empty for Halloween Nightmare double. Like, what the hell? People don't like horror movies? I thought that was bull.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. I was like, that's no.
And then
there would be 2 or 3 people there.
Yeah, at least some people. And then my other thought was, I know it's a double feature, and she went to sleep, but she was asleep for a long time. If you could go and burn a house down and come back, like, damn, girl.
And we're not in the age of reclining movie theater seats.
These are like hardcore seats.
Now I think Tim might. I know that Tim could sleep in one for an entire night, but these seats, I mean, maybe a couple hours. Maybe she's like Tim. Maybe Gretchen has Tim's sleep abilities.
Yeah, could be. But I was just like, it was also their first date, and I was like, okay, it's an empty theater. It's your first date. You're in high school. You're sleeping.
You're gonna be macking.
Girl, come on. Falling asleep at the wheel, literally. Like, come on. But anyway, so I thought that was, I don't know. That's another unpredictable part, I guess. But I was kind of like, doubt.
Did you catch that Jim Cunningham's? Thank you, Jim Cunningham. We were making it through this episode. Mm-hmm. But he describes like 3 things. I'm forgetting one of them, but it's like drugs, something, and premarital sex that will devolve, like, cause you to just dive into the fear end of it. And
that's when you become a Sith.
Sith Lord, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you become Darth Plagueis.
I'm with you.
Donnie, after he finishes getting all 3 of them, marked all 3, like checked them off the list, he goes to God's channel and does all his time traveling. Like, he has premarital sex up in his parents' bed.
Yeah.
And then, boom.
He did drugs.
And I think the 3rd one is crime.
Probably. Who knows?
So.
Something weak.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little bits and stuff like that throughout this film. And I guess I've never seen the director's cut, but it has a little bit more. And it even has
I heard
pages.
It's really good.
Yeah, and it has pages from the actual book that explains some of the stuff that's going on, which I've read about, so I don't know if, like, how accurate it is to the actual book or whatever, but some people, like, why I call those things workers is, like, the things that come out of the chest are, like, they call them workers. They're supposed to guide you along your path. And then, like, the people that die are... There's a name for them. They go back and like help guide the person, and it's all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if this is true because I haven't seen the director's cut, but you know, whatever.
Apparently, it changes the pacing completely.
Oh,
like it's a whole nother movie. Like the director's like, I love both of them. But they're 2 separate films.
Interesting.
I like that. Yeah, I was gonna watch it, but I don't remember if I had to rent it or what, or I don't know. I just decided to watch Hunger Games instead.
Well, my last thing before the party was just another dig at Mrs. Farmer. So it's before they're going on the trip for Sparkle Motion. They have like a dance recital or something, right? And like,
oh my,
she stops by the house with the mom. Yeah. And she basically is like, I was going to ask other mothers, but they're all busy. So I really need you to chaperone. And then like the mom's like, kind of like on the fence, like waffling or like straight up saying no, and she's like, sometimes I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion. And I was like, classic. Like, I doubt my commitment to Sparkle Motion in this moment.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you can kind of just like see the mom like eye roll, and it's just so great. Another little piece of like, everyone hates Mrs. Farmer, including us. That's all.
Even the director, he had to leave the set during the I'm gonna shove this up your ass thing because he was dying from laughter.
Nice. I like it.
Like, he was laughing so hard, he was like, I gotta go for a second.
Okay, so now we've arrived at the party.
We're at the party.
Which everybody just wears a mask and then like their regular clothing.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, or like a wig.
Or a wig
Yeah.
in their regular clothing. And I'm like, interesting.
I mean, we've already talked about Halloween low effort costumes, so that's
These were higher effort than those, though.
yeah, they were
True,
actually.
true.
Everybody seemed to have like some intense masks going
Well,
on.
High schoolers like Halloween.
That's true. But we were at the party. They have their premarital sex.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's just funnier to say it like that. She was taking a drink of water when I said it, and she started laughing. But what else happens? They just bail, and they're like, I gotta go see Grandma Death. Grandma Death.
He, like, sees through one of the channels.
Oh, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
But we don't see what he sees.
Yeah.
And I guess he needs an answer from Grandma Death or something. Like, he thinks there's something there at her house or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and then
give him
that's
an
where the
answer.
cellar door comes into play because
I gotta go through the cellar door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes down there, and then weirdly enough, the goons are down
Yeah,
there.
Seth Rogen and his goon is down there.
Why are they there? Like, that's not even a trick. Like, like, trick or treat. No, that's not the trick part.
Yeah, I don't think we ever understand why they're there.
We
They
don't.
just are.
We don't. And then Gretchen gets run over by Frank.
Yeah. That was rough.
Frank
that
gets
was-
shot in the face.
Yeah.
Facial LaFleur.
And
Total
that poor
facial.
clown guy, he's basically like,
Yeah,
run
like,
home.
whoa.
Poor clown guy, traumatized. His friend run over somebody, then his friends get shot by some random person. Just crazy, man.
Right? And they were at his house partying, just doing a beer run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sister Elizabeth was just like, yeah, Frank's going out for beer.
Yeah.
Weird, right? Like, it all
Kinda
ties
crazy.
together.
Yeah.
And like, even written on the sign at one point, he's like, going to get
Yeah.
more beer, Frank.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a creepy ass handwriting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, could it be normal?
Yeah. This is true. He made a weird as fuck mask.
Yeah. So then,
The airplane crashes with
yeah.
his mom, sister, and dad on.
Was Dad on board?
I don't know where the fuck the dad was because he wasn't at home.
And he didn't go on the trip, I don't think. So maybe he just on a work
He
trip
did.
or something. Oh, did
I
he?
thought I saw him.
I thought he did. Yeah, I'm pretty
But
sure
he just
did.
wasn't sitting in the row.
Okay.
He took first class
Oh,
because
okay.
it was the 80s. That's how it worked.
He got upgraded.
Yeah.
Okay. Checks out.
But yeah, like, so basically Donnie got to see that his family was going to die. So it's just like, bye.
Self-sacrifice, man.
Yeah. And Sam was pissed at that. Yep.
You didn't like the self-sacrifice?
Nope. She said it was a dream sequence.
I was like, this is so stupid. Which I'm sorry. Like, I know that people like this movie. I don't know. I thought it was a cop-out. I don't know. I think, like, part of what people like is that it's all connected. And that's what I dislike.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I don't find it, like, I can see where you're coming from with it calling it a dream sequence. Like, I can get there, but I disagree that it's not like Twilight's dream sequence.
No.
Twilight's dream sequence is like, here, look into the future. That's what could happen. This is like, he actually lives through and is like,
This is yeah, it's supposed to be
controls
alternate
his back.
universes sort of thing. So again, at the director's cut, I guess, the book talks about that a little bit, how they're in a split off, unstable sect of like a parallel universe. And if he doesn't correct it, the universe gets destroyed. Which, to me, when I was younger, I took this to see like he was just saving her life by taking his own.
Right.
And he somehow found the way to time travel.
Yeah.
So to me, I always saw the movie as a time travel sort of thing, or but I can definitely. I sat here and thought about it when you said dream sequence, and it's like, yeah, you could see it that way very easily. Because I mean, it literally could feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, it's not a dream sequence, but it
It has
feels that
elements
way
of it.
because there's not
Right.
as much explanation. So maybe I do need to watch, like, the
There's
director's
not as
cut.
many links to just be straightforward as time travel. It just seems like he lives this stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, but he reverts it. So it's, yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
And I just think if we're going to talk about parallel universes, like, I liked Coherence better.
It actually gave me Coherence vibes. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, was Coherence inspired by this movie? Maybe a little bit.
Ooh.
Possibly,
because-
yeah.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of like the vibe from it. I think now Coherence is a little more fucky, but it's great. I love that movie. But yeah.
You got any more notes, Tim?
Well, let me look here.
Tim's got 3 more pages of notes. He's just gonna be like,
I just get sucked into this movie.
Do it.
I feel like that's saying that he's missing notes.
Yeah, no, it probably is. But I was gonna say that like we took up a lot of your time bashing Mrs. Farmer, so you're totally allowed to take up our time with time travel.
Well, if you really
Totally
want me
fair.
to. So, what is your guys' opinion on time travel?
Which part? Like, we're talking Bill and Ted time travel? We're talking Avengers Endgame?
Do you think it's possible?
It would have to be the more Avengers Endgame sort of style, rather than the Bill and Ted.
Yes, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
Fractured universes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of how this movie is set up too. Fractured universes. I think that time travel has been invented, but it's kept secret by whoever, and we'll never know about it. Or
Tim's
B,
conspiracy
it's
theory.
not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
And I think it's more of column B. It's not possible
think so,
because we
too.
would know about it. I do think in the future that we'll have the ability to travel faster through time, but never backwards.
Yeah, I think you can go forward.
I think we'll have the ability to accelerate through space and time, but never go backwards.
So, Tim, how much of Futurama have you watched?
All of it. Yeah.
All of it? Do you remember the episode where Professor
All the coffee?
Farnsworth...
Oh.
No, that one's funny, but
I love
Professor Farnsworth, he makes a machine where he can go forward in time.
Mm-hmm.
And they like go forward in time, and like Fry forgets to write a letter to Leela. And then like it appears 80 years later because he actually dropped it through the window, and it goes through time.
Yep.
But they end up like being bored with time because like all their friends are dead.
Yeah.
So they go back to the Big Bang, and it restarts at the end of time.
And they forward again.
And then they miss it again, and then they had to redo
Yep.
it again.
Oh my gosh. Classic Futurama.
Yes, classic Futurama indeed. So like I feel like it's more of that sequence is what you're saying too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where they can fast forward but they can't rewind.
Yep.
So get your VCRs out, kids, and rewind those VHSs. Because you can't do that with time.
That's the only rewinding you'll get to do.
Indeed.
Time travel. What a fucky thing. I love the concept of time travel, and especially in movies or just like stuff like that, intertwined parallel universes. I do think those exist. I think parallel universes. I think decisions branch off into other universes.
Flip of a coin. 50-50.
Yeah. I think so.
I think that a splinter happens every time somebody makes a decision or something, But
I could see
that's
that.
just me.
Mm-hmm.
And continuing on with the cast. Thank you, Jim Cunningham, for getting us through that. We conquered our fear of time travel.
Yep.
Yeah, and we just
the
really
ending scene.
we just really appreciate that Patrick Swayze wore his own clothes.
Oh,
I'll
right?
never get over
It's
that.
so
I
awesome.
love
That's so awesome. That's so awesome.
So we'll go ahead and start with Jim Cunningham.
Well, the ending scene was amazing. Blah blah blah. Facial.
Tim loved
Sam,
it.
Facial. I loved it.
Tim's like best music
Okay.
ever, best
Carry on.
ending ever. Sam's like stupid music, stupid dream sequence.
Oh.
So are you in the middle, Adam?
No,
And then
I'm on Tim's side.
Okay, so
But I was trying to play the middle
I'll be on an
Yeah.
island. It's cool.
so that
Yeah,
like
there you
it
go.
felt like we had the full spectrum
yeah.
of
Yeah.
fear over here with Sam.
Oh yes.
And Tim and I are not on the fear side.
Yes, I must have
Yeah.
checked all the boxes somewhere, and now I'm just in it
You're
to win
tethered
it
to
for the
God's
fear. Yeah.
line. But Jim Cunningham is played by Patrick Swayze, who wore his own clothing. He is in The Outsiders,
Yes.
Roadhouse,
Mm-hmm.
Point Break, and Dirty Dancing.
Patrick Swayze.
Sam loves Dirty Dancing. Tim hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
So will we, in fact, get, at the end of this
We
episode,
could.
how did you miss that? And Sam can finally make him watch it.
Great.
Before we move on, I want to make a prediction because I don't know if this is true or not. Is John Goodman in this movie?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
So the dude in the park
Not
that's
him.
in the red jumpsuit
That's
is
not
not
Oh,
him?
him.
really? I could totally see
That's
a
not
vegan
him.
though.
It 100% looks
Right?
like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that being said, there are a lot of random motherfuckers in
I
this
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Yeah. I forgot that I had that written down.
I totally could have seen that.
Yeah.
Donnie Darko is played by our best friend Jake Gyllenhaal.
Woo woo!
We call him that because of our Okja episode.
I think that was lit.
He's also in another time travel movie that I like a lot.
Source Code?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's good.
Sam loves that movie. It has trains in it. That's all you need to know.
I love train movies. Continue.
Right.
He's also in The Sisters Brothers, The Brothers, Wildlife, and Prince of Persia.
Nice.
Eddie Darko, the father, is played by Holmes Osborne. He's in Bring It On, Anchorman, and Cheaper by the Dozen.
Nice.
Elizabeth Darko is played by her best friend Jake's sister Maggie Gyllenhaal. She is in The Dark Knight, Secretary, and The Deuce.
Where is she?
Where is she?
You
Rose
did it
Rose Parko. I wrote Parko instead of Darko.
better. Rose Parko.
The mother, Mary McDonnell, is in Fargo, Battlestar Galactica, and Independence Day.
And she's not committed to sparkle motion.
Not committed one bit.
And then Samantha Darko is a comeback character from one of our other episodes.
Really?
Yes, so Davia Chase. I can't say her last name. She's in Spirited Away,
Leviosa. What?
Lilo and Stitch, and The Ring.
Oh.
Ooh,
She is Samara.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Girl's
pretty
got
down.
some range.
Run away. Run away.
Yeah.
Gretchen Ross.
Wait, does she play Samantha in the next one? No, probably not.
Doubt
How old
it.
is Samantha? I didn't see the second one. I don't know.
Of Donnie
They
anything
Darko?
about
like
it.
As
years
Darko?
apart.
Yeah.
Oh, all I know is One Tree Hill, Nathan, whatever his name is, he plays Donnie.
Oh, so. Okay.
Or he plays a dude in the
Oh,
movie.
you're talking about this second
S.
one? I thought you were talking
Darko.
about the Ring.
Are you talking about Ring?
Yes, I'm talking about S. Darko.
Yeah, I don't know anything about S. Darko.
I've never watched it. I heard it's terrible.
That's what I heard.
The
yeah.
original writer did not do that movie.
Oh,
Oh,
so that
yeah,
explains
I'm
it.
not watching that film.
Yeah.
I might. I'm going to.
Yeah,
Probably. at some point.
Tim's gonna watch.
Report
I actually
back.
I actually was going to, but I had to pay for it, and I decided not to.
But Gretchen Ross is played by Jenna Malone. She's in Antebellum, The Neon Dream, Batman vs Superman, and Hungry Games.
Nice.
Hungry Games.
Then Professor Monatoff, who apparently, so her character, Gretchen could not say the character, Professor Monatoff's name, and Jake actually just ad libs in and it corrects her, but it seemed like so much in his character that they kept that line.
Nice. Yeah.
Correcting her, but she kept struggling to say his name. But he's played by Noah Wiley. I don't know. He's in 234 episodes of ER.
Damn.
He's in The Librarians
Yeah.
and Falling Skies. Karen Pomeroy. It's played by Drew Barrymore. Santa Clara Diet. That's what she's in.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep going.
Nah, just Drew Barrymore, Santa Clara Diet. That's her full name.
She's in Going the Distance, Whip It, and then Sam's favorite Christmas movie,
Woo!
All of the
Die
Other
Hard.
Reindeer.
Oh.
I do love that movie. I'm gonna get roasted for that if anybody's seen that movie, but I love that movie.
She plays Olive.
I have no
Aw.
idea what it is.
You would hate
Oh
it.
yeah, you would
You-
despise it.
I love that you admit that.
We just know that you would hate
You're
it.
just like, no, don't even bother.
It's a trash movie, but I love
It's
it.
pretty good.
You gotta have those every once in a while, though, right? I got my movies that are just garbage, but I love them.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's everybody has guilty pleasures. So
Oh,
there
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Have
But
you seen Donnie Darko?
you go.
Dr. Thurman.
We got you there. You had to
Pause and let-
reconvene yourself.
Dr. Thurman is played by Catherine Ross. She's in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Graduate, and The Hero.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so now we're going to get into these random people that are in the background. Ricky Danforth is
Okay.
played by Seth Rogen. He's in movies like This Is the End, Pineapple Express, and Superbad.
And he just came out with what, an American Pickle or something?
Yeah. Then Kim, the dorky girl,
What?
is played by Ashley Tisdale.
Oh yes, I spotted her in the crowd during
was-
one of Jim Cunningham's
Yeah.
performances. She has she's the one with the crazy pigtails and all the barrettes, and I forget what she asks about. Oh, she says her
she
sister's
talks
too
about-
fat or
yes.
something.
Yeah.
But she is in Phineas and Ferb.
Mm-hmm.
She's in High School Musical 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And A Bug's Life.
Nice.
Then we're going to continue on with the random people. The passenger on the airplane was played by Fran Kranz. I don't know how to say this dude's name, but he's the stoner in Cabin in the Woods.
Nice.
Oh.
Like, he's in The Village and The Dark Tower as well. But, like, what?
Yeah.
And then my favorite of the random people is the lanky kid, listed as the lanky kid, played by Jerry Trainer. He's in iCarly, Drake and Josh, Tough Puppy, and Evolution.
Tough Puppy. Interesting.
These are some Nickelodeon shows and Evolution.
All
But
right.
yeah, he plays Spencer, and I'm just like, hey Sam, who's he look like? Just like, what?
Yeah. There's just like so many people. That's why I was like, it's hard to wrap your mind around the fact that this was gonna be like a straight to video, like not theatrical release, considering how many people. Although I guess a lot of these people, it was before they really like shot up in their career, but still, it's crazy.
Right? Just like, yeah, like the Jim Cunningham guy.
Yeah, it's like
Beginning of his career.
It's like a little time capsule of people's like. You can see them in their babies.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's pretty cool.
And you can see Seth Rogen say, I like your boobs.
Yeah, which is great.
But the director is played by...
He probably still says that.
I mean...
Yeah.
I kind of want... I want a character just to say like the exact same line in in every movie. And there is actually an actor that does that.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
But the director is played by... I crack myself up. The director is Richard Kelly. He does Southland Tales and The Box.
The box.
Yeah, he's a writer-director combo.
Oh,
Hold
okay.
on. I don't know. That's all. He hasn't done much. But the tagline, before we get to whether or not we're going to flip it on or off, is life is one long, insane trip. Some people just have better directions.
I love that.
That's good.
And my last note is that apparently Seth Rogen and Jake Gyllenhaal, during the rap party, were discussing this movie, and they're like, I have no idea what we just made. Like, I don't know what this movie is about. Like, time travel, but, like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
So
I guess that's the point.
yeah, I mean, like, if you're thinking about it, like, you're doing all these scenes, scene by scene, if you're not doing it in order, I'm sure it was confusing. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
you need to see the finished product to fully understand it.
for sure.
But
Especially poor Seth Rogen. All he has to say is, I like boobs. And just, like, worthless lines. Like,
this is true. But do you think this movie was a box office bust?
No.
Yeah.
Tim was right.
Oh.
The budget was $4.5 million, and it ended up making $7.5 million.
Wait, so doesn't that mean that it's not a cult classic?
No, so it is a cult classic because it didn't excel in the movie industry, like when it went live.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was
like
popular
an
years
instant
later.
success.
It wasn't.
yeah,
popular
it
at
picked
the
up more
time.
popular way after it came to DVDs.
So even though it made its money back, it's not like it did amazing.
Yes,
Okay.
and the critics rated it an 86%.
Dang.
The audience rated it an 80%.
Okay.
IMDb gave it an 8 out of 10, which is extremely high for IMDb.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then Google with a passing score of 92%.
I thought Google was gonna fail it.
Yeah.
All right.
It
So
was creeping
Tim,
around there.
would you flip this on?
Absolutely. Everybody's got to watch this movie. It's so
Just
good.
once. Just once at least.
It'll make you want to watch it again just because
Yeah.
you're like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
And I'll flip it on as well, and we'll get to our featured character here, Sam.
I'm the featured character.
You're the featured character because you've not seen it, and you hated the music, and you hated the dream sequence.
So I think my initial thought for myself was correct when I fell asleep because it was boring, because I thought it was boring again this time around.
And we're done recording.
However, you two have convinced me that it's worth a second watch.
Really?
Because there's other parts that I didn't pick up. You're like, oh yeah, you don't get that the first time. Oh yeah, you don't get that the first time.
Yeah, it's one of those.
And
Yep.
typically I like those movies, so I think like I'm willing to slot it into my pre-Halloween situation
Mm-hmm.
because it's like a light Halloween flick. It can kind of like get you in a spooky mood because Frank's creepy as fuck.
So creepy.
And so I'm willing to flip it on again. But that's the extent of it, damn it. I fell asleep the first time. This time I was like, that's like, I feel the same about it. And now I'm like, fucking flip it on. We'll try it one more time. Third time's a charm, right?
There you go.
And then she'll be hooked, guys.
Yeah, probably.
We win!
We did it, Tim. Virtual high five.
Yeah!
But that's cool. We got 3 flip it ons. I fully expected after watching this with Sam last night. She just looked so pissed. And I was like,
I had a feeling she would flip it off, but
I was like, oh, Jesus. Tim's going to be so sad.
Well, you know what? I can still
feelings
shock
don't
you
matter.
guys.
I know.
Yeah.
Is this the first time one of us has been convinced after discussion?
I feel like I've been convinced before.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
think
say
so too.
I don't know if I have. I'm pretty stubborn, I guess.
You're steadfast in your opinion.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've been convinced, yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Couldn't tell you what because I have a shit memory, but, you know. I just get feelings and they're usually correct.
But we'll go ahead and spin for Sam. She's up next. Here we go. Yeah, that's exactly the noise, Tim.
Yeah, he did it. He nailed it.
Bring on the classics.
Okay.
Such classics out there.
Interesting.
Sam's going to bring them on.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm thinking.
Uh-oh.
I hope
scared.
so. But is it?
I'm scared.
Make sure it's not cult classic.
No, it's a classic.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you guys all for joining us. And we can also thank Jim Cunningham
Yeah,
For the millionth time.
just to help us get over our fear
fear of, you know.
Yeah,
of
he just.
completing a
Time travel
podcasting
and-
episode.
Yeah.
Time for
And I can
contrast.
clearly see that I was hooked on the fear when I thought that this movie was not worth
Yeah.
another flip.
Yeah.
Now
see?
it's love.
I
All
see the
love.
light.
Conquered that. You
all
are.
love
You
now.
can say that you are a fear survivor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fear. That's her new title, Tim. Fear survivor Sam.
Fear survivor. There you go.
Thanks, guys.
All love, no fear. Bye-byes.